We could talk a little bit about like the power of association, because we're discussing like the medias and the things that are influencing us, and it kind of relates and ties in with spiritual topic as well.
Yeah.
Of like things that I've learned of like when you're interacting with someone, it can either influence them or they can influence you. And whenever if you're watching a movie or a form of information or a media stream, that's just a broadcast. There's no way that you can influence that because it's just
Right.
coming at you. So
Right.
that is going to influence you.
Right.
So we have to be careful about the sources of information that we lean to. And I think in this day and age, our parents and our older generation, we need to it's kind of we're called to kind of try to re-educate them about, and for some it may not be possible, but to be able to break from the sources that were reliable in the past, like NPR, and realize that they're now corrupt and they're controlled by BlackRock and these corporations, and we have to find reliable independent sources that do not lean to either way. That way we can receive proper information,
Right.
And then the spiritual side of that association is that, the people that we associate with in our life is going to very much dictate what we look to and what we focus on and what we concentrate to. And if we have the fortune of connecting with people that are, let's say free from addiction of drugs and alcohol, or that are spiritually minded, those people are like, treasures that we should try to hold on to and spend more time with, because it's going to help us, whatever they're looking to and drawing their focus on, it's going to help us draw our focus to that as well. And that's going to be our great benefit. And that's going to, pave a path for us to have a better future. And that's going to help the world.
Yeah. Like we need protection from these influences, and recognizing, like you said, even though you may not know it, we're being influenced by so much information, so many people around us. Of course, our phones were just like, ugh. And so all that's coming in and influencing us. And if we don't have that solid foundation of understanding who we are, then we are more and more susceptible. It's like kids. Kids, they don't really know who they are. That's hard for them to understand. You can't really explain to a 5-year-old, you're actually not your physical body. You don't really need that toy. It's not really going to make you happy. That's not going to work with a 5-year-old. Give him a nice toy instead of the bag of nails, right? Just you got to distract them. And so
he's thinking, I'm not the body. Who's this fucking guy? Just doesn't want me to have a toy.
That's it, right? And so we need to understand more and more. If we don't understand who we are, we're going to be able to be manipulated. If we think we are our body, we are our senses, then whoever's controlling the objects of the senses are able to control us. And so we need to have that deeper understanding of that spiritual understanding of who we are.
Aham Brahmasmi.
We're the essence, we're the spiritual essence in the body. We're not the soul. We don't have a soul. We are the soul. We are the person within this physical body. And if we can understand that we need spiritual food to be satisfied, of course we need physical food and water to feed this body and to be satisfied with the physical body, but we're spiritual beings, we need spiritual food. And if we don't have that understanding, if we don't even recognize it or are living that way, then whoever is controlling the objects of the senses, whoever's controlling, showing stuff to our mind, putting stuff into our consciousness, like you said, then we're going to be just dragged around by our senses and our tongue, our nose, our genitals, whatever we're going to be dragged around by our senses. And so it's that is our real protection from all the elitists. That's why elitists don't like spiritual life. They want to get rid of all. They want to separate church and state. Mm-hmm. But now we have a new church called the ESG, which is it's basically religion, because it has nothing. Basically, it's what they decide is right or wrong. So we have these new gods. They want to have these new religions, and so we need to have actual spiritual understanding. And you get that through Scripture. Through Scripture, Lord in your heart, and through a spiritual teacher, you can get this actual information, actual understanding. Otherwise, you're just a sitting duck.
Absolutely, yeah. Well said.